yes, you can study on your own. The last topic will be the capstone project, which you can do it post this session. Okay, so I'll start with objects. Wait a minute, let me start with arrays first, and then we'll come back to objects. Yeah. So when we were discussing about the data types, at that time also we were introduced to array, but we only saw how to declare an array and use. We'll see more to it in today's topic. So let me just quickly update this file. Yeah. So similar to other programming languages, we also have same almost same syntax to declare any array. But the best part is you can store any multiple different data types value into the JavaScript array. So there is no foundation that only numbers can be stored or only strings can be stored. So this is the best part to store the values in the array in JavaScript. So how to declare any array? You have to use a keyword, which the identifier. It can be let const. Mainly we will use let because we are not providing a constant value as such. So let me put something for you. Let's say cities. I'll put. After that we will put the square bracket, and inside that I'll put the city name in double quote or single quote. I can use. I'll put Delhi. I'll put Bangalore. I'll put Pune. I'll put Jaipur. Okay. So this is a syntax for declaring any array in Java. Now, if I quickly go back to my console, yeah, actually I have not pasted anything. Asked to print anything. I'll quickly print it. Console.log. I want to print this entire array. So I'll save it. I'll go. So you can see all the elements in the array are being printed. 4 is the length of the array. It also shows the index value. Okay. 0th index we are having Delhi. Likewise, the third index we are having Jaipur. Now, this array, if you want to search the data type of this, you will find that it comes under object only. Okay, data type of cities I'll put. So you can see it is coming under object. Now if you can recall, when we were discussing the object data type, I told you to declare any object we have something called as key value pair. Okay, so what is key value pair? So there will be a key associated uh, to a particular thing. Just a minute, if I can find that data types. Yeah, so this was the code. Let me quickly copy this one. Yeah, so what we did here is that we declared the student. Inside that we wanted multiple details of the students to be stored. So we can store multiple details using the key value pair. Full name, this variable name is known as key, and the value associated with this is Har Shakti. So this is the left hand side of the colon is called key, the right hand side is called value. So in object we store all the values in the key value pair. Okay, so same way, if you can see in the console, this also looks similar to key value pair only, where key is the index of the array. Okay, so 0 is the key value, and Delhi is the value. Okay, or index, you can say vice versa. But the thing is, it is since it's type of object data type, so it is storing the all the elements in this key value pair. Okay, now next, as I told you that in the array, in JavaScript, we can store multiple data type in a single array as well. So if I want to store some numbers also, I can store. I'll just quickly add it. Let's say, let me change the name itself. I'll put students. Okay, will make more sense to this. Students. Okay, now I'll put some names to the student. Let's say Braj. Let's say Nakshi. Prithvi. Okay, so these are few elements. Now I want to store the marks uh, in it. So Braj, comma, let's say 60, comma, Meenakshi, let's say 70, comma, let's say, okay. So you can see I have stored the string value also. I mean, I have entered the string value as well as number value. So no error will be given. I can get the output. The entire string will be presented, and same as the concept says, this is object type, so all the elements will be stored in the key value pair. So you can see each of the index is known as key, and these are the values associated with this. 6 is the length of the array. Okay, so this is the simple syntax of declaring any uh, array in JavaScript. Now there are some methods or functions, you can say, which is associated with array. Now before I jump onto the methods of array, so why do we need array actually? The thing is, if in case it is required to store the different value, or multiple values you want to store in a single variable. So for that purpose, array comes into the picture. Be it students and marks, be it name and the address, or any other combination you can use, wherein different data type values you want to store in a single collection, variable. So for that purpose, array is used. Now there are some methods of array. First method is to find the length. Although in console you get the length as it is, but there is a defined methods as well. So how to do that? So what you have to do, you have to put students dot length. Okay, now for this I have to put in console because it won't work. So if I save it, I'll get the length as 6. Okay, now this is one method. Like that, there are various method which we will quickly see in the course itself. So this was the declaration of array. Yeah, these are elements. We have done that. Now, one more thing before we go move ahead. If you want to assign some value or change some value inside the array, you can do that all as well. So I'll quickly show this demo as well. Assigning a value. So for example, I want to change the uh, what say the value of my uh, element value of my array. So for example, I want to edit this score. So I know the index value of this is 1. Okay. So I'll quickly update it using the same syntax. We will type the array name, which is students. In the square bracket, we will type the index value. So which value I need to assign or edit is the first array. Now, if I do this and I'll type, let's say 65, and now again I will print my array. So you will find that this has been updated. So I'll go back. So you can see the score or the marks from 60, it has been updated to 65. So this is another way to assign the value. So prior to this, if I want to access the value, you just wanted to display, you don't have to assign. So how to do that? Same, this is the logic you have to use, but inside you don't have to assign any value. You just have to print it. So console.log, and we will put this in bracket. So this will fetch me the value of which is associated on the first position, first index. Or you want to let's change it to fourth position. Let's see what output we are getting. So you can see on fourth position, that is 0 1 2 3 4. Wait a minute. Yeah, fourth position, you can see Prithvi is written. So we are getting the Prithvi as an output. So these are the few methods and how to access the values in the array. Now there is one more concept which is not covered as part of the course, which is called as string. Okay, maybe if you already know the other programming language, there is uh, string uh, method as well, wherein we can write or declare any characters in the string. So same way, this array also works, but array has this in JavaScript, it has the benefit that we can write multiple data types in the array, wherein string will stick to only one type. Okay. Now one more thing is there, that in string, that is, it is immutable. Like you cannot change the string value in the I mean, you cannot change the string value. Wherein in JavaScript, you can change the array value, like you saw. Once I updated the value 65, it is getting updated in the string itself. No need to store it in a new variable. So that means that arrays in JavaScript are mutable. Like you can change the uh, values in a JavaScript. Now, one more concept I would want to discuss over here is that is looping concept. Like loops we have already studied. So we'll see how to loop in an array. Looping in an array. So looping in an array is nothing but the
రేపు చదువుకుంటా
iterables. That is what It is meaning, to repeat itself again and again. So we'll see how it works. So first of all, obviously, we need to use the syntax of for loop. We'll use for let I
ఇంకన్నా కొంచెం
here
వేడి నీళ్ళు పెట్టమ్మా.
means the index value of the array. Okay, or you can type index also, or for the easy understanding I am typing I. Okay, so I represent the index value of an array. Okay, so which will be 0 by default. Moving ahead, now you can see in the console that although this element had only uh, yeah, so in the index value you can see the index value is still 5, but the length is 6. Okay, meaning there are total 6 elements present in the array. So if the index value is I, then I can go up till the index value. Okay, so it should be the length value of the array. So I should be smaller than, it should not come as a equal to also you can put, but then it will change your code. So for better understanding, we are putting less than only. So I should be, the index value should be less than the length. Obviously if it increases, the length will also increase, and the index value will increase, but it will always be less than the array length. The index value will be always be less than array length. So I, or that is the index value, should be less than array length. So here the array, you can put arr, or we are using the student, so we'll put students dot length. Okay, now next. Now this is the initialization condition, this is the updation condition, and next, sorry, this is the uh, stopping condition, and this, the next one will be the updation condition, I plus plus. Now we have written the for loop. Now we have to assign some task to it. So what we want to do, we will try to print each of the uh, values in the array one by one. Okay, let me just quickly comment this out. Now how to print each individual value. um, so for that purpose we will type console dot log the array name, that is the students. Now to print each value we have to check or access the key. So key, for key here stands for the index value. So here I will simply put I, which represents the index value. Now this will help me access individual value from the array and give the desired output. That is what the looping in array means, moving one after the other. So let me go back to my console once again. So now you can see, first statement says simply print the exact array. Now the next console statement is asking that print the individual array value. So you can see in every line, an individual array value is being printed. Now this was the simple for loop which we studied when we were discussing the uh, loops concept. There were total three loops, the three different type of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. As I mentioned that there is no job which you can't do with for loop. For loop is sufficient to complete, execute all kind of requirements. Now there is, in addition to these three loops, we also have one loop, especially for it is used especially in the array. Okay, uh, which is called as for off loop. Okay, for off loop. Now what is this? It will look similar to it will work similar to the for loop only, but the syntax will differ, and it is much more simpler, and that is why it is very common in JavaScript. This for loop is used whenever we are accessing the array or working on array in JavaScript. So please make note of this very important for off loop. So how to access this? So we will type for, we will put the condition. Now this says let students, this is the array declaration, let students, and the inside we have all the elements present. Now I want to access individual value. So for that purpose I will write first, I'll declare let, I will give a name. It can be anything. You can give x, a, y. It's just a variable name. Okay. So for easy understanding, we are giving student. Okay, because this is students with a capital. I mean S. Now this will be student. Okay. Off for is there. Now we will put off from where you want to access this. Okay. So I want to access from the main array. So that is students. Okay. Sorry. So this is the statement of for loop, for off loop. For let is a simple keyword, just to identify the variable. Now student, this is a simple variable name. You can write any variable name to do that. Now next, this is the condition. Now here what we will do, we will ask the console to print the student value. Okay. Now if I do this, I'll quickly comment out. Yeah. Now if I go back, you can see the same output is generated. Okay, let me uncomment this so that you can get two outputs are getting generated. Yeah, can you see the same output? First one is simple for loop, the next one from yeah, bridge till 80. Now next from bridge till 80, this is for off loop. Okay, this is a very popular syntax. You may make a note of it. I'll be pasting in the chat. Yeah, so this is used to access I mean this is you yeah, this is a for off loop to access the individual element or the values or in the array. It's a very simple compact version which can be used. Now we were discussing one more concept. Yeah, so coming back to the methods, more methods we'll discuss now. Let me
Praj, I'm having a doubt regarding that for of loop.
yeah, yeah, please tell, go ahead.
Because in for loop we can limit the values which we needed. Here we are printing all the values which is available in the students array. So if we want only the four index values alone, means how can we do it in the for of loop? Because there in for loop we can reduce the conditions, right, for to limit the
Yes,
value to be displayed. But in for of
correct.
loop, how can we do that?
I think that is not possible in the loop. Just a minute, I'll check quickly. Give a minute.
Okay.
Just properties. Yeah, that is not possible actually. In for of loop, the entire thing will be printed as. So if you
Oh,
need to access limited values, so for that you have
okay.
to use for loop only. If you want to print the entire loop, entire
You
array,
can put
so
in
for
values
of
and we
ఇప్పుడు
can
ఇప్పుడు
take.
స్నానం చేస్తావా 2 గంటల?
yes,
Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.
సరే నాకు
Now
ఆకలేస్తుంది.
next we will
కొంచెం
see
పెరుగన్నం
some more
క్యాబేజ్ ఫ్రై ఉంది,
methods.
అది తినేయండి.
Now this
త్వరగా
is
రా,
about
లోపల
the,
ఫుడ్ ఉన్నాయి లోపల.
changing the value. First was length, changing the value. Now what if I want to add some value? So for adding value, we have something called as push, and for deleting value we have pop. So how to use that? So student dot push. Let me add another name. Let's say Mohan. So what will this uh, method will do? This will append or add Mohan at the end of this array. Okay. Now I'll quickly print this. Sorry. Yeah. Let me go back. So you can see the Mohan is being added. Now how to delete? Now Mohan is already added. Now we will remove. So how to do? Okay, I'll show it in the console. Better view, you will get it. So same way we can work with the as I told you in the beginning, we can type our JavaScript code here as well. So student dot, we want to delete Mohan, we will type pop. Or you need not give this actually. The reason is, if you say student dot pop, it automatically will delete the last index value from the array. So you did not specify anything. Even if I'm not specifying, still the Mohan will be deleted, and it will return the deleted item. Okay. If I want to print Mohan, so you will see console log students. Yeah, so you can see Mohan is being deleted. So one is the push method, the other is the pop method. So likewise, there are many more methods which you can view from the course itself. Okay, shift,
But
unshift. Yeah.
sorry to get for this push and pop method, as you said, it was pushing the values at the end of the array and
Hmm.
also popping that value without mentioning that value. It was deleting the last value, right?
Yes, yes.
So how can we do the pop thing in any of the values which is in the middle of the array? How can we do that? Can we? Is it possible in that?
No, pop will delete the last element only. For that,
Okay.
you would have a different method, or else you can set a null value to wait a minute. You can set a null value to the that particular index value. Okay,
Okay.
so for example, you want to remove the second last value, and this
Yeah.
index is the fourth. Uh, uh, Index value is the fourth. So what we'll do, we will be setting the fourth index value as null. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll do students. We'll give the index value as fourth, which is Prithvi. Now equal to, I can say null, and I'll comment it. Now I'll print. Yeah. So you can see fourth value is null. You can also um, give assign a undefined value as well. So for example, I'll remove Minakshi and assign it to the uh, undefined value, that is second value. Let me give that comment.
Yeah, that's what, like if you assign null value that to that index 4, then it will take place for that undefined value, right? As you said, for the pop, it was removing the whole values which is assigned to that array. But if you assign null to that, it's holding an index value for that, right?
Yes. For yeah, for accessing we for accessing the value inside, there would be some method actually. I need to find. Wait a minute.
Why can't we use like that students dot pop in inside the bracket? Can we use students dot array index value, like for if we want to delete fourth index value, then we can is it possible,
No,
like
I,
instead?
I don't. No, no, I don't think that will work. We can try out. That won't gonna work actually. Students dot pop. You want to specify. You want to put the index value, or you want to write the value itself.
No, index value, like not
Okay.
to mention the
Yeah.
name of that Prithvi or something like that.
Sure.
No, I'm saying like students dot bracket, there will, how we mention the array value.
Okay. 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 Fine then. Let me try that out.
No, no, inside the pop, inside the bracket of pop. Is it not possible?
Okay, we'll try. Let me try with this
Yeah.
one. This is not a defined function. So inside pop, you wanted students. Sorry. For it will delete the last value itself. So if I print, let me console dot students. Yeah. So this is the function actually. If you see, yeah, it says remove the last element of an array. So
Okay.
and push will add the new element at the end of the array.
Okay.
Like it removes the first element of an array and returns the element.
Okay. So this
So
method will works only for the last element and the first element, these type of methods alone. So in
Yes.
between, is there any special methods? That's what I'm asking. Like any other methods specific
Yeah.
to
So
delete?
we found it.
There
It's
is a
splice.
method called splice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this will do your desired output. That is, change the content of an array by inserting, removing, and replacing the element.
Okay, this was I accept.
Yeah. So how to use this syntax also it is provided. You have to type the array name dot splice, the index value, uh, the delete count, and the item number. Okay. So let me go back to my console. Now here we want to type student dot splice, the index value, let me say 4 comma 0 comma the item name, I believe. Yeah, item name will put Prithvi. Okay, now let me print this. No, it is adding to the fourth value.
Saturday లెక్కలేదు ఇంకా సాటర్డే
I think instead of
ప్రింట్ అవుట్
0, we
చేయాలి
have to give 1, I think, in the second argument.
Yeah, delete count. It needs to
మార్నింగ్
be one
6:30కి
also.
నేను చేయించేసుకుంటాను
Okay, let me try with 1. No, it is not changing. Okay, let me try without adding, giving this thing. Yeah, now hope it works. Yeah, now it is working. The thing is, this item stands here for item to be added. If you don't specify this, that means that index value will delete that the element present.
Okay.
So now this is the actual array. Now I'll quickly refresh it. Now I'll do it. So now I want to remove Prithvi. I'll type console. Sorry, console dot log. No. First, let me delete it. Students dot splice. The index value, which is 4 comma 0, and I don't want to add anything, so I am not specifying any item. So I'll quickly close this. I'll save it. Now I'll type console dot log student.
I
Sorry.
think 4 comma 1 9
One,
Yeah, yeah.
I think, yeah, one should be the thing.
Yeah,
Number of
4 comma,
items you want to delete. It should be one.
yes, 4 comma 1. Now it will work. Yeah, so now the fourth index value, which is Prithvi, has been deleted, and you will get the updated length as 6, and the other values has been shifted to the other index. So thanks for asking this query. Splice is the function which you have to use for deleting a particular index value from an array. So I'll type this as well. Let me quickly copy paste. Pop splice. Okay, so let me copy this and share it with you. Yeah, so now array is done. We'll move back to objects. We have already discussed the object creation and all. We'll just quickly see once again. Let me go to data type. Let me copy this code. Object.js. Yeah. So for object is a data type, non-primitive data type in JavaScript, and majority of the time you will find that uh, the other variable name or the other data type are also considered into objects also, like array. If you saw, array is also coming under object. Same way, if you can recall, if you want to find the data type of null, it will be showing the object value itself. So majority of the time what happens, you also don't know that in the JavaScript, many of the time your data type of the um variable what you have declared will fall under object type only. So object is a very interesting topic in JavaScript. So we'll see. So this was the code which we studied in the previous session. So what is happening here? We are trying to declare a variable name as student, and inside that we are writing the multiple details. Okay. Now inside an
So
object,
I have just one quick question.
yeah,
The student is an object, right? It is not a variable, na?
yeah, it's a variable name, but now it's the data type is object. It's
I
a
am
student
bit
is a
confused. I am confused over here because object is different and variable is different. Na? We usually create object using class or something. That's what I know. So can you please clarify this?
yeah, correct. This student, the entire code, if you can see from line number 1 till 6, this will be called as an object. We have created an object called with the name student. But what is student? Like this is a variable name only, no? Like variable name is
Okay,
student
okay.
full
So
name. Yeah.
we are just saying that that student name is a variable name and this complete is an object, right?
Yes, correct. Correct. So if for example, if I remove this code and if I type Harshakti, so this student will now be a variable name only, no? It's not an object. So object
Yes.
will specify if that have it will have multiple line of code, including other different type of data types or variables.
Got it. Got it. So thank you.
Yeah. Now, in addition to this, having storing different kind of value in an object, we can also add some functions also. So in yesterday's session, we read about functions. So we'll write some function. Let's say I want to print the age. So I'll write a print function, print age. Okay. So how to specify whether something is function, we will use the function keyword. Okay. Yeah, this is the, we are not going to pass any argument. We will quickly write a function here. Nothing. We will simply write console dot log, which will print our age. Yeah. So this is done. Now let me go back to my console. Yeah. So nothing is happening since we are not calling out the object as such. Just a minute. Yeah. Now we'll be calling out our object name console dot log student. So the entire student object is being printed. Now, if I don't want to print, as I said, I only want to access the function. I want only want to print the age. So same, how to access any function? We will type the student. Okay, and we will type the function name, that is student dot print age. Okay, so it will print my age is not defined. Okay, let me come back to bring it back. Number 6. Okay, let me change this to where. Now I hope it will work. This is also block scope. Okay, so I think we need to create an object first. So let me create an object. I believe it should work. 25. Okay. Let me change it to student one. Okay. Fine. We'll stop this. We'll move ahead with the next topic, which is accessing the prototype of the objects. So let me just quickly bring back the code back to the const only. I'll remove this one. Yeah, so if you can expand this, you will see that there is something called as prototype object. So what is this prototype? Under object, there will be some predefined written methods specified for an object. So it will have a constructor, it will have has own property, is prototype of to string, to local string, value of, and all. So one of these will see as an example. Just a minute. Now for that I will create another code. Let me say const. We'll create a foreign employee. Let's say employee. I'm gonna create. Okay, const employee. I'll type inside this. Will write a function. Let's say. Okay, let's first define the salary. 50K. Okay. Now next we'll write a function called as calculate tax. Okay. Now what will this function do? It will tell the tax bracket or the tax percentage of that income slab. So we'll simply type that tax rate is, let's say, 5%. I'm gonna put. Okay, so this is, let me comment this out. Yeah, so we what we have done here is we have created an object called as employee. Inside that we have specified salary, and we have added a function to it. Okay, now
In
next is,
line number 11, there should be comma, right?
okay, sorry, thank you. Yeah, so inside this element we don't put semicolon, we will put comma as well. Now what we will do, we will quickly see the output if we have any. No, now we'll try to print this up. Yeah, so if I this is the object we have declared, and now I am calling out my function. So I'm writing the function name and dot calculate tax. So it is printing the tax rate, that is tax rate is 5.
Bridge,
Now
I
this is,
have a doubt here.
yes, please go
I-
ahead.
Can we assign this call tax to one variable and can we try to access it? Yeah, previously we tried that. The same we can here try.
Uh, Meaning, what should I do now? Please tell.
Uh, Previously you did, right? You called one function and assigned to one variable, right? Like that. For example, after salary, example tax colon this function,
Hmm.
like that can be call and try.
You want to assign to a new.
Variable. This function, actually we are writing call tax as a function, right? That direct
Yes,
function.
correct.
Can we assign this function to a variable like a key colon value pair?
Okay, so I think we can do it. Let me see.
Yeah, this one. Can we can we replace the call tax with the arrow function?
Arrow function. Yeah,
I,
we can able to do that.
yeah, okay. Thanks, Braj.
Yeah. Yeah, so where was I? Let me go back to the same syntax. Yeah, so we have created an object, we have created a function inside, and we are calling a function uh, by using this particular syntax. Now, we want to add a new, employee details to it, let's say. So, for that, we will create another employee name. Okay, so let's say this employee name could be employee 2. Okay, now this person will have some different salary, let's say 80K. Sorry, yeah. Now, so if I am not specifying any function, still I can access this function from the employee, calculate tax function from the employee object. How to do that? So for that purpose, let me just go back to the okay, let me print this first, then only you will able to see. So in this we were discussing prototype. In that there is one term called as proto. So this function, we will quickly see an example. What happens, how to access employee to calculate tax. To access this, we will print employee to dot. For typing the prototype function, we have to put dot and double underscore. Okay, underscore underscore, then we have to type proto, and again double score, double underscore. Now equal to what? Equal to the first employee. Okay, that is. Now what it says, this statement, it means that the employee 2 is a prototype of employee. Just like inheritance, we know that it's a parent class, this is a child class. So in the same concept, you can treat this as a parent object and this as a child object. Okay. But to stick with the correct term, this is a prototype of the employee object. Now, this statement means that whatever inside in this function is, it has to, replicate. So now, if I type employee2 dot caltex, now this will work. It will generate me the same output two times. Let me just save it and go back. You can see I'm getting the same output again and again. Now, as we know, the salary is different. So obviously the calculate tax should also be different. So we can declare any another cal tax method here. Okay. And we can print it. Now to access this cal tax, we have two options. Either we use this particular statement, this line, that is employee2 dot caltex. It will work, it will fetch you this detail. Okay. Or else, I mean, this statement will fetch you. If I uncomment this, let me just uncomment. Let me save it. Oh, okay, okay. I have not changed it. So this is 10% now. So it is fetching tax rate is 10%.
Sir,
Yeah.
previously when we had that function in employee one only,
Hmm.
and we were fetching using this proto function, I can say, right? So why it is important to use this proto function? We could have directly call it as employee2 dot call text as well, na? uh, I mean, why it is mandatory to use this proto, this one?
Because it will not work. If I can show you, let me comment
Bridge is,
this. Yeah. See, if
are
I'm
we assigning the, yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So see, I have commented this because this caltex function is not associated with this object. So you can see is not a function. So it will throw an error. I'm sorry, I should have shown this execution previously. So this function doesn't work because there is no caltex function in this object, because this function is associated with a different object. So for that we are creating this prototype. Okay. Now it will work
Okay. Okay.
because the statement is below. So I'll uncomment this and comment this one. Now it will work. And can you see it is printing 5, the same text. Now what I wanted to show here is that this has a function called as override. So this will override the prototype. Okay. If you have, because we have explicitly mentioned the same function inside the our employee2, the second object. So there is no confusion for the compiler that whether to print tax is 5 or tax is 10. It will print tax is 10 only, because it will override the previous thing. Okay. So this is
So,
the
Bridge,
thing.
yeah, are we assigning the superclass object to a subclass object here? Can we take it in that way?
Yeah, you can comprehend in that way as well.
Okay.
We call the salary and 8,000 as key and value, na? What
Yeah, yeah,
the
because yeah, this is the object. In an object we store value as a key value pair.
okay, okay.
Braj, I'm having a doubt.
Yes, please
When
go
we
ahead.
assigning the that employee class to the employee two using prototype like that, we are calling the functions. But what about the values which was assigned to that the salary value and the salary value in the employee and employee two? There is no call tag function in employee two, but we want to calculate the salary value which is mentioned in the employee two using the call tag function. How can we do that one?
అవును ఆ?
No,
Like
if you
for
have,
అతను ఉన్నాడు కదా.
yeah, so salary is defined both at in the both the objects we have defined salary. So
okay.
again, if you want to fetch the
Employee two dot
salary,
salary.
so it will fetch
ఆఫీస్
the
తెలుసా,
employee two dot
ఆఫీస్ లో
salary only,
వాళ్ళు ఆర్డర్
not the
చేస్తారు
employee
కదా,
one salary.
రెండు ఆర్డర్
Okay,
చేసేసి నోట్
yeah,
అడుగుతా
that's what I
మీకు
mean.
తెచ్చి
Yes.
లేకపోతే ఆఫీస్ లో ఓపెన్ చేయండి సీల్ అది అక్కడ తాగేసి రాలేనండి నేను
When we
ఎక్కువ
don't
ఆర్డర్
have
చేసేసి
salary in
అక్కడే
employee
తీసుకొచ్చాను.
two, in that case, when we mention employee two dot salary, so it will definitely print employee salary, right? 5,000.
Yes, yes. After this statement.
ఇది అరగంట లేట్గా
Right.
వస్తానండి
Yeah.
ఇవాళ.
Got it.
నేను కూడా
Thank you, Vish.
మీలాంటి ఆఫీస్లోకి
Thank you.
వెళ్తాను ఆడుకోవచ్చు.
So that's
చెప్తే
it
మెంటల్ స్ట్రెస్ ఉంటుంది తెలుసా.
for the JavaScript session. Now, I think Prithvi is there. Prithvi, are you there?
పని చేయడం కన్నా పని చేయించడం ఇంకా కష్టం.
Prithvi?
వర్క్ చేసుకోకపోవచ్చు.
Prithvi is there in the session. I think she's probably on a call or something. I can see her in the session. By the time Prithvi comes back, ladies, this was last.
Yeah, I'm here, Meet.
Yeah, great, Prithvi. You're back. Thanks. Please take
Yeah.
over.
Braj, is the session done?
Yes, Prithvi, Braj has concluded what he had to teach. So you can
Okay.
take over
So,
ahead.
yeah, firstly, thanks once again to both our SMEs, Braj and Meenakshi Vyas, for their time and dedication in facilitating this program. It's a humble request to please complete the prerequisites. I'll just share my screen once again and show you.